Just a quick little video. Excuse me, I'm just making a quick video about doing a setup for a juvenile tarantula. When I have a juveniles, I tend to use these these quite large exoteras. Sometimes I use the really useful tub ones, but today I'm going to be setting up on this one. So the first thing I'm going to do is put in my homemade substrate. So we'll do that next. Right, so here we are. Well, this is the bit where I always do my substrate, and I make my own. I did go through this in the video the other day, how to make your own substrate. I'll go through it slightly a little bit again now. I use 4 cups of topsoil. This is the base of the substrate, topsoil. I will then add 2 cups of peat. Like I told you before, if you've got a moisture dependent tarantula, add more peat. If you've got one that needs a drier substrate, add more sand. There's the peat. Then I add 1 cup of vermiculite. Here we go. And in half a cup of sand. Just half a cup. There we go. And that's all the substrate there. So we're going to go now and mix that all up. Well, as you can see, we're back now where we started. So now I'm going to mix this all up. Make sure you mix it all up nice and tidily. So you've got a nice mixture of equal amounts everywhere. You don't want a big clog of sand somewhere and then the rest isn't. That looks really nice there. So that's what the substrate looks like when it's all mixed up. Got my little helper there, Sullivan. There he is, my little helper. So the next thing you're going to need to do is just sort of make it into sort of a nice little design. I tend to add a bit of cork bark into there. So we put some cork bark to make a nice little hide. There we go. Pat that down a little bit. Put a little bit of greenery in there if you want to. I tend to put a little bit of fake planting in there. Just gives it a little bit of a coloration, and which is quite nice. So you can put like a little bit of greenery in there. Essentially a water bolt, very essential. Pop that in there for the spider, and that pretty much is what I have in there for my juvenile. Just add a okay, the only thing I do tend to add is a bit of moss. So we can just get a bit of moss and pop that nicely over the top there. And we can move the flower over there a bit. And there we have it. So that's basically my little setup. As you can see, it's got a nice little hide. Got a couple of inches of substrate in there if it wants to burrow, but that is just a basic sort of setup. Plenty of space to move about and grow. Anyway, I hope that was useful. That is how I do my little setups for juveniles.